What this does is it gives me this ability to start to segment out how we would like our community to register for events. And we can use roles to prioritize the people who are contributing the most, because that's just the reality of community. Some people are really into it. Some people are showing up consistently. They're contributing their time as volunteers or helping co-lead, or they're contributing their money as paid members or signing up for paid events. And some people are just on the periphery. They come every once in a while, and that's okay too. But now we have the power, at least as leaders, to work through and segment event registration to make sure we either have time or access. This morning, I went ahead and created a role called top leaders. And I'm going to spend 2 seconds on roles because they are how we have helped organize different members for these event registrations. And then we can dive into like how to segment an event registration by role. But it all starts with a role. So I actually created a one called top leaders, and it's hidden. So only the people on the role and admins of the group can see it. Everyone who registered for this event has been added. And what I can do now with this role is a bunch of stuff in Heylo. Roles essentially allow me to better organize my members. Roles are really powerful in Heylo. And we've done the same construct for an event. I actually created an example here. I just duplicated the one that we had this morning, but I made some tweaks to it. And what we'll be able to see when I edit this event is that it now has 2 registration options, not one. We have a top leaders registration option, and we have an all leaders registration option. And the difference between the two is that the top leaders is actually going to be restricted to that role I created. So if I click this, we'll see these are the same 7 folks that I highlighted previously that are going to be added to that private topic. Now you get an extra little perk, access to this particular registration. And I made it unlimited. So any of the 7 leaders on this role will be able to register. There's no cap associated with this. We want all 7 of the top leaders to be able to have access to this event. Now we have a second registration option, which is not restricted. But because our event has limited size, I set the cap to 2. So any like one without the top leaders role, the first 2 folks will be able to register, but that's it. And what ends up happening is that now anyone with the top leaders role will be able to register from 3 and beyond. But anyone who does not have the role, if they're not in the top 2, they won't be able to register. So if I flip back over to this event, if you noted, I added myself to it as well, not because I'm a top leader, mostly because I just want to make sure we can demo this okay. But now when I register for this event, because I have the role, I see that I can register for top leaders and it's available to me. I could also register for all leaders if I wanted to, but the top leader role is available to me. And now if I remove myself from this role, I will no longer see this as an option. I will only see the opportunity to register for all leaders.